Hey internet, how's it going? Gangsta episode 3. And this episode, we take a little, we get a major flashback in this episode. And we sort of see how Warwick, how pretty much like how he lost sight in one of his eyes. And also, it was because of Nick when he was young. Or at least, like, it is presented in a way where it could be Nick. And pretty much is like, we don't necessarily know the family situation. All we know is that either Nick has something to do with killing off this rich-ass family. And he could be the reason for why Warwick can only see out of one eye. And also because of that you can honestly speculate that both of their lives are actually sort of intertwined with one another, and they both sort of see each other as brothers in a way, because they both have the same tattoo on their back. They pretty much live in the same house doing the exact, or pretty much sort of living up to like this same kind of rules, to the point where they both share fucking clothes and shit. I mean, that's something that only best friends and brothers do, you know. Well, they both also have the exact same body type, but really thinking about it, that's sort of how they work. Also, we do learn a little bit more about Warwick, at the fact that yes, him and Nick, they both came over to that, or at least like they moved over to that part of town when they were both 13, and ever since he was 13, he has been working as a host in this host club, which made him very popular with the ladies, and I do believe because of that actually sort of helped him and Nick sort of set up what they have now, and really forced them to get the kind of connections that they have in the criminal world, which really is pretty cool. It is sort of handy how both of these two sort of came into their own in the past 22 years, which is really fucking cool. Also, it's like they do seem to be two of the more prestigious criminals in the underground world, as they're delivering pills and talking about and they're talking about how like that they have a very shady life. And honestly, Alice probably shouldn't be somebody who actually sticks around them for too long, because if you really think about it, it's like these two have been doing this shit for 22 years. They are well versed and very, very, very stuck into this kind of life of them being the ones who have to deal with all these underground people and deal with all this criminal shit, and have to deal with murder, violence and prostitution. Whereas Alice, on the other hand, she's only dealt with one. She can't really handle the others all that well. But yeah, you can see sort of where this is going. I mean, throughout this episode, they do sort of allude to Warwick's past, and they also talk a little bit more about what those pills are for. We also learn that there's also another woman out there who sort of has connections with Nick. I'm not sure who that is, but how it seems, I do believe, or at least me personally, I think that's sort of foreshadowing as to where Nick could possibly end up if he doesn't give or take with the reason why he has to take those pills and why he lives the life he does as an ex-mercenary, sort of like that, because it's not necessarily an easy deal to sort of take all those pills, be able to do all that acrobatic shit, and not necessarily have like any negative effects. So that's sort of how this sort of comes off. Honestly, I really liked this episode because it did the number one rule that a lot of animes in which that they don't necessarily follow. Give us more about our main characters. Give us more about their character and more about their personalities. And just from these 3 episodes, Nick and Warwick are very layered as characters. I mean, like, even though they are very, very, very simplistic. I mean, like with with Nick just looking back and looking down at the newspaper that had an obvious picture of Warwick in it, talking about the tragic, like, at his home 22 years ago, with just having him look back and stare at it and actually sort of react to that. For some reason, that was really amazing to me. The same thing can be said for Warwick and, like, his eye painting as, you know, it could be, like, possible change in weather, but, like, it's really, but, like, it's more or less, like, the pain actually makes him think about when that tragedy happened. Honestly, these episodes, they are painting Nick and Warwick as very layered characters. Even Allie, as even though it's been like a few days, she shot the dead body of her supposed pimp. She still kind of has problems with dealing with death and murder, and she does want to know more about those two. Something that I really do like. And also, Warwick's a fucking gigolo. That's really fucking cool. So until then, that is what I have to say about that. Please tell me what do you think about it down there in the comment section. I'll catch you guys on the next Jongravesshow. And if you like this video, please hit that like button. I'll catch you next time. Please keep watching anime, keep playing video games. I'm out.